Hello there, it's time for me to start working on the Lexus LFA body, and this video will show all the steps I take to prepare the body and all of its components and ultimately airbrush primer on all of them. The first thing I do is to begin checking all of the body components, especially the body, for any defects that need correction, mainly mold marks like the one visible on the rear mudguard right there in the middle, and in the case of the LFA this goes all the way on the pillars right there, needs sanding down, and it also continues in the middle of the front mudguard as can be seen right there. All of that needs to be sanded down because it will become highly visible once you apply primer. Also on the front bumper between the headlights there is another mold mark right there, which also needs to be carefully sanded down. On the roof you can see these two bumps. These are actually protruding out from the roof. They can also be felt and they also need smoothing down. So I started sanding. I am right now using 600 grit sanding paper, and I keep slowly sanding until I get the surface to be fully smooth. Once all the shyness is removed from that area, that means that the mold mark is actually gone. The next job is to remove these molded Lexus F badges from the front mudguard, because these will be replaced by more realistic photo etch ones, which are these ones right here. And the first thing I'm gonna do is to mark their exact location, first beginning with a needle, and that will be my guide for drilling with a pin vise. Then I take my pin vise armed with a very small drill bit as can be seen, and I drill a hole right through on the mudguard. This hole will be my guide when I come to attach the new badges later on. So the hole is ready. Now I take my blade and start cutting it away from the mudguard, taking care that I don't damage the mudguard in the process. With the majority of the badge removed, all that remains is to take the same piece of sandpaper and slowly sand it down until the area is fully smooth, as can be seen. Now Tamiya gives us these parts separately, which will need to be attached to the body, so I shall be cutting them from the spruce, cleaning them, and then get them ready to be attached to the body. To attach them I shall be using some quick setting extra thin cement from Tamiya, and the reason is that it dries very quickly, and also the brush is very thin and it helps you reach those hard to reach places to apply the glue. I would have been happier if Tamiya supplied these parts already part of the body, because attaching them will leave some unwanted gaps on the body, and this will require filling. However, I understand that due to the complexity of the vents, they had to be supplied separately. same procedure goes for the smaller vents. They fit perfectly in place, perfect Tamiya quality, so they just place them in their position, just some drops of glue, and once they have fully hardened, I shall be filling them with some filler to eliminate the unwanted gaps that these pieces of vents create. Attaching these pieces created some gaps which are not present on the real Lexus LFA, so I used putty to fill these gaps, and then once dry, these were smoothed down with the body. Panel lines were next, and in this step you are trying to achieve a deeper panel line and not wider. That is very important, that you don't make the panel lines any wider, to keep them as realistic as possible, and that's exactly what I'm doing with the scriber. And once I'm done, I just take a sandpaper and I quick sand over the panel lines to make them smooth. With the body cleaning done, it was now time to open the hobby design box and begin checking the resin parts to see how they actually fit on the LFA body, beginning with the front spoiler, where as we can see the fitting was already quite good, just some minor modifications required. And these modifications were mainly to sand down a little bit on the inner side, because it was touching with the Lexus LFA body, and also I needed to extend the sides a little bit, because these were a little too short compared to the Lexus LFA body. So I had to add some extra pieces of resin and then sand them down smooth with the front spoiler. Here we can see the first side, and this is the other side. The color differentiation shows the part I had to actually add. Test fitted once again on the Lexus LFA body, and now we can see that it fits perfectly and also in line with the edges. Next was the rear spoiler, where I shall be using the original fixed spoiler as my base for the new resin spoiler, and on the masking tape I have marked the places where I need to drill exactly, so that the new spoiler from Hobby Design will sit right into it, same as I did with the side badges. First I am marking the holes using a needle, and then drilling the required holes using the pen vise. And now let's bring the spoiler, fit it inside the original fixed spoiler. There we go. And test it on the body to see exactly how it looks to be a Nurburgring Edition. Some cleaning was also required for the wheels, and these have been modified to increase their rim size, and you can see the full procedure into a video tutorial in the links of this video. The last thing I need to show is this amazing photo etch, and this is the standard which came with the kit. Simply amazing. With all the parts having been prepared and ready for airbrush, it's now time to take out the sticks and start attaching the parts one by one so that they will be much easier to airbrush attached to these sticks. To do this job I shall be using the same super glue which I have used for the modifying wheels tutorial, because this dries very fast and you need that when doing this type of job. So the first thing I do is to clean the tip of the stick a little bit. Attach a drop of super glue onto the stick and then start attaching the parts one by one from a place which will not be visible when the final assembly starts. Regarding the rear spoiler, I chose the bottom part because that will surely be not visible. Just a couple of seconds and it's attached. Now I will do the same to all the parts and get them ready for primer. And there they are, all the parts attached to the sticks, the body attached to the Tamiya stand, and everything is ready to start airbrushing the 2K primer. Time for the final part, and that is the actual airbrushing of the primer. I am right now using an Iwata Revolution 0.5mm needle to airbrush my 2K primer, and also wearing my face mask, which is very important especially when airbrushing 2K products. And that concludes my whole procedure of getting the parts ready for primer. And while seeing all the pieces that have been airbrushed in primer, I would like to thank you all for watching. I really hope you find this video useful, and please subscribe so that I can bring you more content, and also feel free to leave your comment in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next.